It doesn't matter if you're 22 or 52. The world keeps feeding us the same sugar-coated lie. You should be happy alone. We're told to love ourselves first, to be whole on our own, to find peace in solitude. And sure, that sounds empowering until it starts feeling like a prison. Because what no one says out loud is that nobody tells men this. Nobody tells them to heal first or go to therapy before they're allowed to love someone. But women? We get shamed just for craving connection, for wanting love, for not being completely fine eating sushi alone on a Saturday night. Hello, fellow warriors. Welcome or welcome back to the Goddess of War. Today we're debunking the myth of you should be happy alone. Because honestly, we've had enough. This idea that your life should feel complete without anyone else has become a trap. A trap that tells you, if you're still lonely, you're broken. If you still want love, you're weak. If you don't enjoy your own company every damn second of the day, you failed some imaginary self-love test. But let's be real for a second. Being alone all the time can be exhausting, and that's completely normal. Even the strongest women crave real connection. But today we're so brainwashed into thinking that this is weakness, we start blaming ourselves. We think, maybe I'm not healed enough. Maybe I need to love myself more. Maybe I'm the problem. But no, we're just human. Think about it. Our brains are literally wired for connection. We're meant to love and be loved, to be held, to be seen. But society, it keeps shaming women for wanting more. We're told to shut up, light a candle, read a self-help book, and be fine. Meanwhile, a guy in his 30s says, I don't want to die alone, and everyone nods and calls it maturity. A woman says the same thing, and suddenly she's desperate. How does that make sense? And here's where the double standard really shows up. In today's world, a man who wants a relationship is treated like a prize, like he's some rare evolved being, just because he's not out here chasing meaningless hookups. Because let's be honest, the bar is on the floor. Most men are so glorified for the bare minimum that when one actually shows true intentions and a real capacity for love, women are like, wow, what a catch. He gets praised for simply wanting connection. Meanwhile, a woman who's ready to give love and craves affection, suddenly she's the problem. She gets guilt-tripped. She's told to work on herself, to be whole on her own, to stop looking outside for what she should find within, and all of that BS advice everyone's throwing around. The first step in breaking free from this trap is very simple, but it's not what you think, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But first, let me make one thing crystal clear. This isn't about saying that a woman shouldn't enjoy being on her own. In fact, being comfortable in your own company is incredibly important because it means that you are not scared of yourself. But the problem is that society has twisted this idea to the point where we now believe that we must be self-sufficient all the time, that we should be perfectly fine on our own, and that if we're not, there's something wrong with us. We've been taught that we should never rely on anyone, that we need to be happy alone, that we need to be fully healed before meeting someone. But no one tells us that sometimes the strength we need lies in being able to ask for help, to lean on others, and to share our lives with the people who truly care about us. We're not meant to carry the world alone. And actually, no one is. So, how do you break free from this trap? The first step is by far the most obvious, but also the most overlooked. You need to recognize and accept your need for connection. Listen closely, warrior. You shouldn't feel weak just because you want to have people around you. And if society makes you question this, remind yourself that by nature, humans are social beings. Women are humans, so your need to connect is completely natural. Instead of seeing it as weakness, I want you to remember what I'm about to tell you. Strength isn't about doing life alone. It's about choosing the right people to do life with. We need to stop glorifying female isolation as some kind of emotional badge of honor. You're not weak because you crave love. You're strong because you own it without shame. The second step to break free from this trap is even more powerful than the first. You need to stop performing wholeness to be liked. Let me tell you something everyone is afraid to say out loud. You don't owe anyone a perfect, fully healed version of yourself before you're allowed to love or be loved. That's not growth, that's performance. Think about it. Real connection happens in the messy middle, not at the finish line. Wholeness isn't a prerequisite for love. It's often the result of it. And can I just be super frank here for one moment? When I met my partner, I was far from healed. I had been carrying deep wounds from my family. My parents had gone through a brutal divorce when I was still a teenager. My father had cheated more than once. And the moment I stopped seeing him as my first example of what a man should be, I lost trust in men altogether. That betrayal made me develop anger, resentment. I thought all men were the same, unfaithful and unreliable. So no, mentally I wasn't in a good place when I met my man, and I didn't expect love to magically fix me. In fact, love doesn't heal your wounds. It highlights them. And relationships aren't a medicine, they are a mirror. I didn't heal myself because I was finally loved. I healed myself when I saw what real love awoke in me and decided to work on it. But that wouldn't have happened if I had said to myself, "Stay alone to heal yourself first, Emma." And that's exactly what no one tells you. You don't have to be fully healed to find love, but the right kind of love can inspire you to grow in ways you never would on your own. But there's a third step, and I'm sure it's the one you didn't see coming. Appreciate your need for space. Healing isn't just about letting love in. It's also about letting yourself breathe. Let me say this loud and clear. You're allowed to want space. And no, craving solitude doesn't make you cold or distant. It just means you know when your soul needs to rest. But here's the difference. Enjoying your own company is powerful, as long as you're not using it to hide. Because yes, you can light candles, take long baths, go on solo coffee dates, and that's beautiful. But if deep down you're doing it to avoid disappointment or rejection, then that's not peace. That's fear in disguise. Real strength is balance. It's knowing how to be alone without feeling lonely, and how to be with others without losing yourself. So take your space when you need it, recharge, reflect, but never let the idea of being whole alone become a wall that keeps love, connection, and growth out. The last step is by far the most important, but also the most ignored. Build a community, not just independence. Independence is beautiful, but having a community is where the real magic is. Because true healing rarely happens in solitude. It happens in safe spaces, with safe people. Surround yourself with people who see you, who get you, and who don't shame you for your softness. We're not meant to survive alone. We're meant to thrive together. So if you're ready to thrive with us, not by pretending you've got it all together, but by being real to yourself, then this tribe is for you. We're not just building a community. We're building a circle of women who've stopped apologizing for needing more. More love, more truth, more connection. You are one of us now, a warrior. And if this message spoke to something real inside you, stay close, subscribe, and let us spread our message even further. It's time to unleash your inner confident goddess. See you in the next video, warrior.